Okay, we're live at Facebook, so I'll just share my screen. Okay, so magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Welcome to the first webinar of the Philippine Association of Environmental Science Students, or PAES, for this academic year 2023-2024. So ang para sa first episode natin, it will be Punla, Career Talk on Environmental Sector. So today is August 12, Sabado, and the program will run from 3:30 until 5 p.m. Again, magpakilala lang po ako. I'm Kendrick Farinilo. I'm the president and founder of the Philippine Association of Environmental Science Students. And I'm from, hindi ako naka-share screen, wait lang. Okay, so I'm from the UPLB School of Environmental Science and Management. Wait nga, yan natin yung slides, baka maliit yung konti. Ayan, so ito na po yung slides natin. And just a reminder para po sa mga nagtatanong, so we've been conducting webinars before and this is the first time that we'll be offering yung webinar e-certificates natin. So for participants, kindly include your name and your university in the FB Live comment section, and to get e-certificate, paki-answer na lang po yung evaluation form that will be commented later on after the program. And i-close po namin to tomorrow ng 8 p.m. just to give you enough time to answer the evaluation form. And pakilala lang ulit namin kung sino ba yung PAES. Kami po yung samahan na mag-aaral ng Aghampang Kaligiran ng Pilipinas. We are the National Association of Organizations from both undergraduate and graduate levels of degree programs aligned, related, or equivalent to environmental sciences and environmental management. Ina-accept din po namin yung isa sa speaker natin, environmental engineering po yung kanyang natapos, environmental planning, environmental biology. As long as may environment or ecology po sa name ng degree program, we can accept you. For membership increase, contact us at membership.paes@gmail.com. And I'm happy to announce that right now, as of August 12, 2023, we have 36 universities across the Philippines from Ilocos Sur until Zamboanga del Sur. So nakascatter po kami sa different regions in the country. And for our presentation outline, we have 4. Yung baselining natin, a short opening remarks and the introduction of the featured speaker, presentation, Q&A, and some announcements. And para po sa mga first time na magsasali sa webinar ng PAES, we usually do yung baselining natin using menti.com. So ini-invite ko po kayo na pumunta sa menti.com, mag-open po kayo ng bagong tab, and type menti.com and use the code 26918792, or you can scan the QR code. Again, open a new tab, go to menti.com and type the code 26918792 or scan the QR code. So I'll just shift the and let's go to Menti. Okay, punta po tayo sa menti.com, 26918972. Naglo-load lang po saglit. Ayan, marami na po nag-hi sa ating Facebook Live from Visayas State University, from Zamboanga College of Marine Science and Technology, Caraga State. Oy, puro tiga Mindanao, Central Mindanao. Ayan. So pakita lang po natin yung menti.com natin. So ang first question natin lagi ay kung asaang province ka ngayon. For example, Laguna. So punta po ulit tayo sa menti.com and use the code 26918792. Medyo naglo-load lang po ang ating menti.com pero magre-reflect din yan later. Okay, mag-hi po muna tayo sa mga taga Caraga State, taga Visayas State, University of Southern Mindanao, Technological University of the Philippines, Taguig, Mindoro State University, Bukidnon State, USM, CMU. Ayan, Central Mindanao University. So medyo marami po tayong taga Mindanao. So we have people from Metro Manila, Cavite, and mostly from the FB Live comment section po ay taga Mindanao. Ayan, taga Bukidnon. Ako po right now ay nasa Cavite rin. So kung sino po yung nagsabi na nasa Cavite siya, baka po magkalapit tayo today. Ayan, meron din tayo from Bukidnon State. Okay, sige. And then, ang second question naman natin, though hindi nag-reflect sa Menti.com, marami po nagsasabi kung asan sila sa Facebook Live. Ang second question natin, ano po ba yung document na one page lang ideally? Is it the curriculum vitae or CV o yung resume? Anong document ang one page lang ideally? Curriculum vitae or resume? Sige, sagot po tayo. O hindi po kayo makapasok sa Menti.com, pwede din po kayo magsagot sa ating Facebook Live session. So may bago po tayong university, si Don Honorio Ventura State University. Sige, sagot ay isa pa lang resume. Can I ask for mga 5 more participants to join sa Menti.com? TUP Taguig, meron ulit. Resume. Sige. Sige po, punta po ulit tayo sa Menti.com. Type in the code 26918792. Ayan, medyo nasa 43 po yung nasa FB Live natin. Kaya lang baka kasi naka-phone sila so hindi sila makapag-shift ng isa pang tab. Pero abangan lang po tayo ng konti. Ayan, resume 4. At least medyo ano naman tayo, nasa tamang direksyon. So in the most ideal sense, ang resume po ay yung 4 pages lang. Pag hiningan po tayo ng CV, andun na po yung mga lahat ng trainings, ng certificates na ginawa natin. So medyo tama po yung sagot ng ating mga participants. Okay, so maraming salamat po for participating in the Menti.com. I'll just resume my presentation. Okay. So ginagawa po natin lagi yung baselining para maging familiar yung ating mga resource speakers kung asan po tayo at kung sino po yung mga stakeholders na nanonood sa atin. And as mentioned, ito po yung first webinar of PAES for the academic year 2023-2024. So i-welcome lang po natin yung mga pumasok na universities over the mid-year break. So pinakauna po yung active sa ating comment section. From the Technological University of the Philippines, Taguig Campus, Green Chemistry Society from Taguig NCR. Second campus na sumali during the mid-year break was Mindanao State University, Iligan Institute of Technology, MSU IIT, Environmental Science, Graduate Student Society from Iligan City, Lanao del Norte. And the third is Northwestern Mindanao State College of Science and Technology, Environmental Science Students Organization from Tangub, Misamis Occidental. And lastly, we have the Central Mindanao University, ang dami natin sa FB Live na from CMU, CMU Environmental Science Student Society from Marambag, Bukidnon. Yung sa Menti pala natin, either Bukidnon State or CMU. Okay. Sige, that's it. And just to give you our socials, meron na po kaming bagong social media platform. Yung una po yung NVSci_students_PH. Basta yun po yung handle namin. So IG po namin is for the fieldworks na ginagawa ng NVSci students. And yung YouTube naman namin at Environmental Science Students PH, ina-upload po namin doon yung mga recordings ng mga past webinars namin para nasa isang platform na lang po lahat ng papanoorin nyo. So right now we have 15 webinars and this is the 16th episode na for our PAES webinars. And ano lang po natin yung mga partners natin for science communication. So we've made different partners over the past few months. Yung una po ay yung Permaculture PH. Then the next one is Marine and Earth Science Learning Hub. And then the third one is Drone Diaries PH. So pwede nyo pong puntahan yung Facebook nila or yung mga social media channels nila if you want to learn about permaculture, marine science, and using drones for environmental research. And ito lang po yung isa sa ipa-plug namin, shameless plug. So meron po kasing kinonduct yung UPLB Learning Resource Center na webinar on how to make an impressive resume or how to ace a job internship interview. So bilang career talk po ito, sinasuggest namin na pwede nyo pong i-rewatch. Although 2021 pa po ito, nasa ano naman siya? Nasa YouTube channel ng UPLB LRC. So doon ko po nakuha kung bakit one page lang dapat ang resume. So kung gusto nyo po, kung wala pa po kayo na draft na resume, meron po silang step-by-step process on how to handle or how to create yung one-page resume natin. Okay, again, yung sa webinar certificates po natin sa mga hindi po nakakuha ng announcement kanina. For participants, kindly include your name and your university in the FB Live comment section. And the link to the evaluation form will be placed in the FB Live comment section before the event ends. And we will be closing the G-Forms tomorrow by 8 p.m. So hello po muna ulit tayo sa ating mga nasa Facebook Live. So Cavite State dumating na. Caraga State, sana wala pa ako na-miss. CMU. Ay, hindi. May bago po kasing pangalan yung Cavite State. So instead of Indang Campus, ang ginagamit nila ay Don Severino de las Alas Campus. Okay, DHVSU, BULSU, Cavite State Main Campus. So dalawang campus from Cavite State. Rizal Technological University. I assume that's in Rizal. So wait lang. Marinduque State College. Marinduque State College, DHVSU. Pa-shoutout daw sabi niya, nung fresh grad namin from DHVSU. And alam ko cum laude siya, si Christian na nasa Pampanga right now. Okay, sige, let's just go. Ayan, cheer down natin ang SEAS. Ang Caraga State, Caraga Environmental Advocates Society. Okay, so ito po, bakit po ba natin ginagawa yung career talk? So syempre, kakatapos lang ng graduation season. So marami sa ating mga members yung currently unemployed. Pero kagaya nila Christian, maaga kasi silang nag-grad. So nakapag-apply na sila sa for work. And kung yung sa mga nag-register po sa ating G-Forms, tinanong po namin kayo kung saan sector ba kayo gusto magtrabaho. So we have 3 options. The first one is the government sector. The second one is the private or business sector. And then the third one is the non-government organizations, social enterprise or non-profits. So we wanted you to have an idea kung saan ba pwede magtrabaho yung mga environmental science graduates. And most of the participants na nag-register ay gusto magtrabaho sa government sector. So baka Senro, BNR's different units. Pero yung invited speaker natin right now is from a state university and from a private sector. So meron din po opportunities yung mga environmental science graduate for these kinds of firm. And if hindi pa po kayo familiar, meron po tayong Philippine Green Jobs Act of 2016 or RA 10771. So it is an act promoting the creation of green jobs, granting incentives, and appropriating funds thereof. So isa po sa pinaka-green, kung hindi tayong pinaka-green na degree program is environmental science. So in the next few years, pag nagbukas na po yung opportunities for green jobs, malamang sa atin po yung mapupunta. Okay, so that's it for our introduction. And to formally introduce our ating first guest speaker, resource speaker, panauhing tagapagsalita. Engineer Siege Rason, MSc, graduated from UP Diliman with a course of BS Civil Engineering and also took MS Environmental Engineering in the same company. So right now, nag-work siya sa IPM Group of Companies as the Corporate Sustainability Manager. So magandang hapon, Siege.
Magandang hapon, Kendrick and team.
Okay, so I'll just share your slides for a while.
Thank you.
Ayan, so very mobile po ang ating team ngayon. So ako ay nasa Tagaytay. Si Siege ay nasa biyahe at yung isang speaker natin nasa meeting po. Pero okay, yes. Siege, you can take the floor.
Thank you, Kendrick. And I hope kung nasaan man ang ating mga nanonood at nakikinig, I hope okay kayong lahat. So ako, let's see, Siege Razon. Hopefully naririnig nyo rin ako ng maigi. At ngayon sa inyong career talk, ang pag-uusapan natin ay trash talk. So magta-trash talkan tayo. Again, I am a graduate ng MS Environmental Engineering. And then I'll be sharing with you yung aking napiling specialization, which is solid waste management. Sige, Kendrick, makikita next lang ako ng slide. Okay. So ito, I don't know if you've been to one, pero kapag ito kasi ang favorite place ko, no? Ito ang aking favorite na tambayan. So what you see here is an engineered sanitary landfill, and sometimes people refer to it, no, as a dump site. Yun sa may dump site, no. And never in my life have I seen a person or heard a person say na, or even mga kids, na anong gusto mo maging paglaki mo, and walang nagsasabi sila na gusto nilang maging basurero. So right now, I think I am the only person I know na gustong magsabi or laging sinasabi na ako ang inyong basurero. Sige, Kendrick, next. So, what a waste. Ngayon, siguro, ibigyan ko muna kayo ng briefer or konting background kung why I fell in love also with solid waste management and ano ba yung usual na ginagawang work sa solid waste management industry. So right now, meron tayong mga batas, no, na 20 years na. So nag-20th birthday na siya, RA 9003 or Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of the Philippines. Pero sa ngayon, ang problema natin ay ang mga sumusunod. And potentially, kahit hindi ko isa-isahin yung mga nakalista dyan, I would like to pose a question to the listeners, to the viewers, at kung pwede siguro mamaya balikan ko kung ano yung mga nilagay ninyo. But do you know the collection schedule sa inyong mga sari-sariling barangay? At alam niyo ba kung saan napupunta ang waste na kinokolekta sa inyong households or even sa schools or sa offices? So habang tumatagal, nag-i-increase yung population natin, nagkakaroon ng developments, at ibig sabihin nun, tumataas din yung waste na na-degenerate natin, which actually impacts a lot of things. Kadalasan, hindi natin napapansin kung ano yung importansya ng pag-manage ng basura, pero as environmental scientists or environmental engineers, ang lagi nating iniisip ay isang buong ecosystem. So kapag mismanage ang waste, ibig sabihin mataas yung potential na meron tayong pollution sa water, kapag ka tinapon natin doon yung basura natin. Land pollution also, kapag ka nagkaroon na ng leakage or yung tinatawag natin na leachate na po pwedeng mag-seep through sa ating waterways and even sa ating land. And of course, yung napakabangong amoy ng basura, so ibig sabihin yung air quality natin is also being affected. So, maraming problema sa waste management industry na kadalasan ay hindi nabibigyan pansin, pero detrimental siya, no? At mahalaga siya para hindi lang para sa atin personally, but for everyone also, for the community. Sige, next, Kendrick. Okay, so explain ko muna kung ano ba yung sinasaklaw ng waste management industry. So for sure, meron tayong nalalaman na 3 hours before, na ngayon 5 hours na, no? But for a simpler understanding, I created this line or the waste value chain as I understand it. So meron tayong prevention, reuse, recycle, recover, and disposal. Next. You can press it up to the end, no? So ano ba yung meron dun sa waste value chain? It starts with the generation. So waste is very personal to me because all of us actually produces waste, no? So hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng isang araw na hindi tayo nagpo-produce ng solid waste. So again, sinabi ko kanina that as we increase our population, majority of it, we will also increase waste generation. And siguro, in some of your courses or subjects, you've come across the different waste types, no? Simplify na lang natin na food waste or bio waste, recyclables, and dry waste. At nag-iiba-iba rin ang composition ng basura natin depende sa lifestyle ng community kung nasaan tayo. And it is being affected by the different developments in our society. Ang pinaka-mabilis or ang pinaka-madaling matandaan is actually recyclables because sila yung mga may potential pang magkaroon ng gamit. Madalas niyan is ang very familiar kayo would be the PET bottles or your beverage bottles. But what happens to the other types of waste actually is that currently, ang nangyayari lang is i-collect siya lahat at nagagalit pa tayo minsan pag hindi kinokollect ang ating basura kahit na hindi yun ang designated day for that collection at tinatapon siya sa landfill. Kung makikita niyo sa taas, wala tayo masyadong nagagawa on the recycling and recovery. Sige, next, Kenrick. Ayan. So, the dream of the waste management industry is to actually create a world without waste. Well, not necessarily without waste, medyo tall order yon, but at least to properly manage it. No? Sige, next, Kendrick. The idea of this one is that we have designated collection and we have designated infrastructure to actually support this kind of activity. So kumbaga, for environmental engineers and even environmental scientists or any environmental blank, no, na specialization, these are the top things or the key things that we actually want to tap, or where we want to be in to actually provide solutions for. So the very first one, meron pa yatang konti ito, no? So definitely behavioral change is very important. I'm not sure, baka pwede rin mag type in, no, kung sino dito ang mga nagsisegregate at source, meaning nagsisegregate sa kanilang bahay. Now, but responsible consumption and segregation at source is very important, and this aspect of the waste management industry is not just for the private sector, but it's multi-sectoral. In fact, lahat tayo dapat ay stakeholders dito. Next would be on the technology side. Let's say that we are already successful in building this behavioral change or responsible consumption. Then definitely whatever we will be retrieving or whatever it is that we will be consuming, meron tayong papaglalagyan at merong katapat na technology, no, or technologies na pwede po itong i-accept, no? At ang end goal nun is to minimize the disposal, at kung meron man tayong marirecover ay na-recover na natin as much as possible on the earlier stages. So ayan, next. Okay, bakit ko sinabi muna ang lahat ng yon? So that you will have an idea of the areas where you can find career opportunities. So what do I do for work? Right now, I'm traveling, hindi naman across probinsya, no? But I do for work is really, I travel the country and other parts of the world, diba? So maganda yung career sa basura. I go to high tourist influx locations, I go to supermarkets and do window shopping. Nagte-take time din ako para maging marites, and I stay grounded and be humbled by the experiences, and I tell stories. No? Next. But really, ang tanong sa akin kadalasan, misconception sa work ko, ano bang ginagawa mo? Nagpa-plant trees ka ba? At doon ka kumikita, no? Pag sinabi kasi kadalasan, pag may environmental blank, no, na course or profession, ang always kapag sinabing environment, laging may kadikit na plant trees. Parang feeling nila yun lang yung gagawin ng mga environmental professionals, to plant trees, no? But no, I don't just plant trees, no? Okay, so waste engineer, meron ba nun? So, whenever I tell people what do I do for work, and when I say I'm a waste engineer, they cannot believe that there is actually engineering na pang waste, no? Una kasi, inimbento ko lang yun na may waste engineer. Now, but really, it's more of, we're talking about waste mass flow. Ayan. May junk shop ka ba? Kasi kapag environmental professional ka, tapos sinabi mo sa waste management industry ka, ang iniisip na nila ay kung meron akong junk shop, or kung ako ba yung nangongolekta ng basura sa kanilang mga bahay or kanilang offices. Well, partly, yes, dun sa kami ang nangongolekta sa iba-ibang locations. But hindi po, wala po akong junk shop. And then the second to the last is that you're an engineer, you must be earning a lot. No? Pwede natin sabihin na misconception yon na kapag graduate tayo ay meron na tayo agad a high-paying job. Okay? At i-explain ko yan later kung anong totoo. No? And then laging tinatanong sa akin related sa climate change, totoo ba to? No? As if that's kumbaga na yun lang yung aking mga pwedeng sagutin. Okay? Next. Ako pong trabaho yung nakikita nyo kanina sa right-hand side po ako sa landfills, at nagtitingin po ako ng iba't ibang lugar sa Pilipinas, at hindi po ako dun sa may vicinity na magaganda pupunta, kundi sa tapunan nila ng basura. So, yung kaninang nakalista po ng what do I do for work, ano bang ibig sabihin nun? So when I said that I travel the country and other parts of the world, it means that solid waste is a worldwide problem. It's not just for the Philippines, or it's not just for very localized community. Kumbaga, ang problema sa basura affects us all. And when I say I go to high tourist influx locations, nandun tayo sa mga matataas ang waste generation, and most probably mayroon tayong tendency or merong tendency na improper ang pag-manage ng basura doon or merong problema sa pag-manage ng basura doon. Siguro nagkaroon kayo ng or nabalitaan niyo siguro before na merong mga ilang islands na naisara kasi hindi niya na kayang i-carry yung mga pumapasok na turista or even yung mga locals para maging sustainable yung kanyang ecosystem. And then, I go to supermarkets, do window shopping. Ang tinitingnan ko po doon ay ang packaging. So, check the label and mag-iisip kung paano mariretrieve ang mga pakete or lalagyan na yon pagkatapos natin silang gamitin. At doon sa pagiging marites, it's actually a way for us to check what really happens on ground and to learn the culture and to learn how the community reacts to what is happening around them. And dun sa being grounded, the realities of the industry is that there is always the marginal sector within any industry, I think. So for waste management, yun po yung mga nagbubulasi kung tinatawag natin or yung mga nagsisegregate ng basura either habang nagko-collect or doon sa mga junk shops or minsan sa mga gilid-gilid na nakikita ninyo. So we want to include them as part of the solution pagdating po sa ating looming waste management problem. And when I say we tell stories, we want to stay factual. So ano ang kulang sa lahat ng aking sinabi? So if this is what I'm working for and this is what it means, ano ang kulang? So for the waste management industry and maybe yung ating mga ibang partners sa environmental agencies will also be agreeing to this is that mahirap if ever meron kulang or bungi-bungi, wala tayong baseline, solid baseline or database pagdating sa ating mga environmental parameters. And dahil wala tayong ganon, nahihirapan tayong pumuha or mag-evaluate ng carrying capacity ng isang lugar, no matter how small or how big. And I'm just talking about solid waste here. It's not even yet the mass flow analysis or mass flow in general ng iba't iba pang resources natin. So for waste mass flow analysis, because walang baseline, because meron ding informal na part, nahihirapan tayong mag-analyze where the waste actually goes. And the challenge is always you cannot manage what you cannot measure. So next would be if we don't have the information above, then what's missing is actually sustainable communities. Hindi natin siya ma-push kumbaga or hindi natin siya fully ma-realize because we cannot manage something that we cannot measure. And if ever we will be doing this, there is a required upscaling pagdating doon sa ating mga profession para improve din yung circularity programs natin. And well, maybe because nandito tayo sa sciences, kaya lagi nating sinasabing data-driven, dapat ang lahat data-driven. Pero kailangan nako-communicate natin ng maayos yung mga success stories na yon despite looking at the numbers. Ayan, sige, next. Okay, so nawala ng konti ang screen. Ayan. So ano ba ito sinasabi ko na don't be wasted? Meron kasing tanong kung meron bang enough opportunity for environmental science in our country or environment professionals for that matter. I would like you to look at the photo below. And if you can see here, this triggers me in so many ways. Because una, yung work environment, environmental hazards and health risks. Kung ano ba talaga yung mga problema. So kapag may problema, laging merong opportunity na lumalabas. So if you say, is there enough job opportunity? I will say that we have enough problems for opportunities to arise. And then what is the advantage of an NBISI graduate on the business field? And how can we work on that advantage, and what are these and advancements in the environmental sector focusing on sustainability and conservation. So the shift is actually happening. No? So shift happens that ngayon, not really low, but I would say that the professionals pagdating sa sustainability or sa waste ay hindi pa ganun katalamak. In fact, I haven't seen any licensure exam or any certification na po pwedeng mag-certify na I'm a waste professional. No? So we're trying to work that out very soon, and hopefully kayo ay part of the movement also. But as of the moment, mataas yung demand para sa mga practitioners and professionals pagdating sa waste management and sustainability na mas malaking umbrella. And as I mentioned, kung merong mga problema, napakalaki rin ng mga oportunidad. So the growth opportunities are maraming emerging markets, no? So ngayon, dahil lumalabas na rin yung EPR or extended producer responsibility and other types of laws, and people are becoming more environmentally aware. And lalo sa age ngayon where analytics is very important, yung emerging markets on data analytics, sustainability, waste mass flow, waste audit, and compliance is really one of the front movers, and nabanggit din ni Kendrick kanina about green jobs. So it's different in one sense compared dun sa mga ibang trabaho, because we are looking at things in a bigger picture. It's not just the social part, it's not just the economic part, but it's also the environmental part. So buo natin siyang tinitignan as professionals. And of course, as I mentioned, once you want to promote circularity or sustainability technologies, pagdating sa sustainable sourcing, diversion, recycling, upcycling, processing ay lalabas. So if you're on the more technical side, and even if you're in the management side, so I'm sure that out of the many problems, there will be a job opportunity for you. So also, dahil nga hindi pa ganun katalamak or hindi pa ganun karami yung mga professionals, is that you will always have this first mover advantage or the pioneer status. And your must-have should be, you always have to have face mask and alcohol, lalo na kung papasok kayo sa mundo ng basura, because you have to be healthy always. And then, kailangan lion heart and nerves of steel kayo dito, because usually this is the road less traveled, if not the road that nobody wants to travel. No? Apart from that, analytical skills and strategic orientation is very important. Because you want to integrate multi-sectoral approach pagdating po dito sa field na ito. And you should be willing to be of service to others, because this is not just kumbaga, it's a ripple effect for everybody whenever we talk about waste management or pagdating natin sa environmental profession. Ayan, sige. Next, Kendrick. Okay, so don't panic, it's organic. Ayan. Stop mo muna dyan, Kendrick. So, may mga nagtanong kasi kung ano ba yung tips daw. So, ang sasabihin ko lang is, it's not just about the grades or the degree. Diskarte is the key. Yung makikita nyo doon sa picture dyan, makikita nyo yung mga 5 ko. Binroadcast ko pa na madami akong 5 out of the mas marami pa dyan. No? But I guess what I'm saying is that it's not just the grades. No? When you go out and try to build your career, it's always an opportunity to learn. Learning does not stop when you're pagtapos ka na sa school. In fact, you will learn more and more eventually when you go out and work. And it's not just the number crunching, it's not just the theories, it's actually, you will see that all courses are actually interrelated to each other. And then next, Kendrick. Okay. Data interpretation and storytelling is king or queen or queer. Because when we go about the numbers, when I said that you cannot manage something that you cannot measure, it doesn't mean that you will just measure something, pull up the graph, and then that's it. You know, you have to relate it. You have to make it, you have to put out that story and make it relatable and easily chewable by um, the market or the people that you are trying to reach out. So kumbaga, if there is something na very, kumbaga, it's hard to come by, or it's a very powerful skill or powerful skills to have. It's data interpretation, to know how to use the information that you have and to tell the story that you want to say, no? To have the best impact, if not the greater impact, dun sa gusto ninyong isolve na problema. And lastly, next, may pera sa basura, basta segregated. Sige. So right now, just to share with you, I'm working on a project called Trash to Cashback, wherein we are inviting everybody to segregate their waste and become eco warriors. And in return, they will receive environmental points or certain product incentives from different partners, while we ensure that all of these materials are being collected. So we're working on one part of the waste value chain, or the one part of the waste subtypes, and we are trying to save the environment while helping the community, one recyclable at a time. So I think that's it for me. I hope I was able to capture most of the questions and give you some insights on what it is, how it is kapag ka nag-work for the waste management industry under the big umbrella of sustainability and circularity. All right, thank you.
Okay, Siege, maraming salamat. So I'll just go to the slides and then siguro sinasuggest kasi na dapat tatlo lang yung yung points na ibibigay ko for the highlights. But it's really difficult kasi we're both from the waste management sector, and every time na nag-meeting tayo, di ba yung chika natin parang sobrang lagi nag-expand sa hindi dapat na chika. Pero yun,
yes.
siguro yung una sa I have parang 6, pero I'll point 3 lang talaga. Yung una is yung thank you for validating na hindi porket environmental blank program tayo, magtatanim lang, magki-clean up. So there's more to it than just that. Kasi parang ina-expect sa atin, tiga-linis lang tayo, tiga-tanim ng puno. Every time na may coastal clean up tayo yon. Pero it's not the basic thing na ginagawa ng NBI, which leads me to my second highlight. Parehas tayo nagbabasura. We're proud na nagbabasura tayo. So it's fun na yung technical words like carrying capacity tsaka mass flow, nasasabi natin na ginagamit siya for basura. So hindi lang junk shop, meron tayong carrying capacity, meron tayong data na kailangan gamitin.
Yes.
And then lastly, hindi ko alam yung exact quote ni Catriona, pero di ba, we work with junk shops eh. So lagi natin nakikita kung gaano kahirap yung informal sector, yung kahit isang tuka, walang ID for as a citizen. So nakikita natin yung totoong situation on ground. It's not just basura yung ginagawa nila, pero yung social impact and the environmental impact as well. Andun siya has a holistic approach. So thank you so much for highlighting everything na ginagawa natin on a daily basis, pero sinishare natin sa ibang graduates and environmental science students sa baka kunin din yung track na kinuha natin. So maraming salamat, Sid. So mamaya balik tayo sa iyo for the question and answer portion. Dahil
thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sid. So for our next speaker, we'll be having Engineer Christian Paulo Altaveros. So he graduated BS Chemical Engineering from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and is currently taking up MS Environmental Science in UPLB School of Environmental Science and Management. Paulo, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you can share the screen. Can you?
Yes. Kita nyo na ba?
Yes, thank you so much.
Ayan. Good afternoon, everyone. So, thank you, Kendrick, for introducing. Marami akong natutunan kay Siege. Thank you, Siege, sa isang good discussion din. Marami akong bagong natutunan regarding sa waste management industry. I am Paulo Altovero, so I'm here to talk about the academe or the government sector in terms of the environment. So nag-iisip ako ng title ng presentation ko kanina. Sabi ko, sige gamitin ko na lang yung punla. Kasi naalala ko lang yung lolo ko kasi yung lolo ko ay farmer. So every time na dadali niya kami sa bukid, sasabihan niya kami na magpunla ng mga seeds na itatanim niya. So ang ibig sabihin niya sa amin noon ay maglagay ng mga buto doon sa seedling trays kasi ipupunla muna bago ilipat doon sa mismong bukid para itanim. Kaya ang goal ko ngayon ay makapagpunla kahit papano ng maliliit na seeds sa inyo if okay lang. So I'm Paolo Altoveros. I worked at UPLB and minsan pollution control officer, minsan teacher, minsan instructor. Pero madalas lumalabas din naman, namumundok, pumupunta sa gubat, naliligo sa mga ilog. Ayan, and may pamilya na rin. So every time nakikita ko yung picture, dito yung anak ko sa tabi ko, kaya medyo kinakabahan ako baka manggulo. Yan, kapag nakikita ko sila, nakikita ko yung purpose ko, yung why ko kung bakit ginagawa ko to para sa environment at para sa trabaho ko. So, yan. So, to give you a brief introduction about the sector that I'm into, so the academe, so nagbigay din si Sige ng konting introduction about the waste management sector. So, hindi lang sa paligid natin, pero pati ang higher education institutions or the academe, mga state universities, marami ding mga waste generation and management challenges. And ang HEI ay parang isang municipality. So sa UPLB, ang dami naming building, sobrang laki ng lugar. And maraming complex activities taking place on these campuses. And as HEI, so teach environmental science, siguro karamihan din dito, di ba, galing din sa mga nag-aaral pa or gagraduate na. Ang isa sa gagawin dapat natin is we must walk the talk. And hindi lang dapat tayo nagtuturo ng environmental science, pero ginagawa natin. At dapat magsisimula yan sa academe. So, university, so konting introduction lang din about my affiliation. So I'm from UPLB. So alam niyo naman siguro ang UPLB. This is a constituent university of the University of the Philippines. Meron kaming 237 buildings. Sana nagpe-play ng maayos yung video sa inyo, no? We manage the Mount Makiling Forest Reserve. So instead of tree planting, we invite tree planters sa Mount Makiling. We have about 13,000 plus students and 3,300 faculty and staff kung saan ako kabilang. And we have a vision to be a leader in the effective and efficient stewardship of development of the universities and our natural resources towards a clean, sustainable, and future-proof campus. And isa rin ito sa dahilan kung bakit siguro ito rin yung trabaho ko ngayon. Kasi parang in the next generation, gusto ko rin dito mag-aral yung anak ko. Gusto kong makita niya na in the future, meron pa rin UPLB na ganito kaganda, na ganito kaayos, kalinis, karaming puno. Kasi di ba iilan na lang siguro yung mga lugar na pwede mong takbuhan, pasyalan. So, yeah. And under UPLB, I am working under the Office of the Vice Chancellor for Community Affairs, which is tasked to lead in caring, protecting, securing the health, safety, and welfare needs of the UPLB community. Basically, we want to let UPLB be the environment for everyone. Yung tipong magiging pangalawang bahay mo talaga siya. Okay? So, yun yung mission ng Office of the Vice Chancellor for Community Affairs. And ayan, ito yung mga offices under ng OVCCA para may konting background kayo kung saan ako nagtatrabaho. Ang University Health Service, ang UPLB Gender Center, ang UPLB Housing Office, and UPLB Security and Safety Office. And then under ng Office of the Vice Chancellor for Community Affairs, then nandito yung different committees na nag-handle ng Transport and Traffic Management, Crisis Management Committee, yung Environment Committee kung saan ako kabilang at different management committees kasi sa loob ng UPLB campus, maraming mga allied agencies, government sectors. So naman nandiyan ang DOST, ang PNR, nakikipag-coordinate din kami sa munisipyo. So community talaga. So parang isang city or isang municipality yung minamanage namin. Ayan. So bilang PCO, tayo rin ang nagmamanage ng Environmental Compliance Certificate na binigay ng DENR sa atin. Parang ito yung pinaka sinusunod natin kung para ma-oversee at ma-promote yung compliance ni UPLB sa environmental laws and regulations. And sa University of the Philippines System, UPLB yung naunang magkaroon ng ECC, kaya yung ibang UP campuses sa atin o sa UPLB nakikipag-coordinate, nagbe-benchmark para magkaroon din sila ng ECC. Again, it's part of walking the talk. And hindi lang dapat yung mga companies na nagpo-produce ng waste or pero dapat talaga kahit yung mga universities mag-comply on the Environmental Compliance Certificate. Ayan. So, karamihan talaga ng mga tanong dun sa binigay sa aming guide questions, no? Related sa pollution control officer. Ang dami daw gustong maging pollution control officer sa inyo. So, maganda yan. Sana after nitong talk ko, gusto nyo pa rin maging pollution control officer. So, ano bang duties and responsibilities ko or isang PCO? Again, compliance and monitoring. I monitor the compliance of UPLB with different environmental laws. So in terms of RA 6969, mamaya i-discuss ko the Clean Water Act, the Clean Air Act, the Solid Waste Management Act. So name it, lahat ng pinag-aralan niyo sa environmental science, talagang ma-apply niyo. Ayan, policy recommendation, formulation, up to implementation and monitoring. So, since magandang nabanggit ni Sige kanina about data monitoring, so it's very important din sa amin na meron kaming studies, meron kaming data kung saan doon manggagaling yung mga policy recommendations namin. We can recommend to the higher office, for example, to the Office of the Chancellor, itong particular policy na to, given na meron kaming basis, meron kaming data. And yan din yung isa sa science na magandang pag-aralan, lalo na kapag gusto nyong mag-masters pa or gusto nyo pang maging madagdagan yung kaalaman nyo, kasi sa UPLB meron din namang policy courses. So maganda siyang pag-aralan kasi bilang PCO, ikaw talaga yung main source ng policy recommendation. So ginagawa namin yan sa office namin. Yan, program creation and coordination. Meron ka ng polisiya, dapat meron ka ding programs related to the environment. At hindi pwedeng parang tayo ng event, ganito, ganyan, para may masabing meron tayong environmental programs. Pero it's about science pa din. Bakit mo gagawin yung program na yon? Ano yung nakikita mo after 3 years, after 10 years about this program? So merong proseso yung program creation and coordination. Next, technical trainings and seminars. Nagko-conduct din tayo ng trainings and seminars kasi naalala ko yung isang question, how do you reach out to indigenous people? How do you reach out to the community sector? Lalo na kami community affairs. So very important yung communication. Communication sa komunidad. Kasi ang policy, hindi lang dapat yan document, pero dapat alam nila, naiintindihan nila at ginagawa nila. So yun yung part ng trainings and seminars namin. Very important. And support to administrative services. So katulad ng sabi ko kanina about OVCCA, hindi lang related sa environment yung ginagawa ko, pero yung different programs related to the environment, the health, the safety of the UPLB constituents and community around it, kasama yon. And coordination with different stakeholders. So kami yung nakikipag-coordinate sa munisipyo, sa allied agencies, sa different sectors of the society. Minsan ako yung pinapa-attend sa NEDA, sa sa iba't ibang agency na kailangan ng tulong. Ano? So, for example, merong gusto makipag-benchmark sa UPLB related to this program. So, kami yung nakikipag-coordinate with them. Ayan. So, katulad ng sabi ko kanina, may iba't iba kaming programs. Pero, syempre, magiging focus natin yung environmental program. So, kung ikaw ay graduate ng environmental science, very sure na ma-apply, very sure ako na may-apply niyo yung mga natututunan nyo kapag naging PCO kayo. Kasi kayo talaga yung gagawa ng mga programs nyo related to solid and hazardous waste management. Siyempre, guided by the following environmental laws na hindi na natin i-discuss. The Water and Air Quality Improvement, Clean Water Act, and the Clean Air Act, Energy Systems and Habitat and Biodiversity Management, kasi nga sa amin din yung Makiling Forest Reserve, and yung mga bagong tinatayong building. So siguro nakapag-take up kayo ng course related to environmental impact assessment. So kami rin yung nagmo-monitor nun sa office na bagong building. So kailangan may part EIA ito. So syempre katulong namin yung isang kolehiyo din sa UPLB sa paggawa ng pag-update ng environmental compliance certificates ng UPLB. At doon namin i-incorporate yung mga bagong program, energy efficient ba yung building na to, or pwede ba natin gawa ng mga green improvements yung isang particular building. Ayan, so bigyan ko kayo ng isang example ng program, isa lang. So this is the Waste at Source Segregation Project ng UPLB. Katulad ng sabi ni Sidge kanina, no, talagang may pera sa basura, basta segregated. And gusto talaga naming gawin na segregated yung basura sa campus. Kasi sabi ko nga sa inyo, yung campus namin sobrang laki. So ako lang naman yung PCO sa buong campus. So it takes a community. It takes different colleges, units, offices, institutes to really participate dito sa isang program na ito. And katulad din ng sabi ko kanina, gusto kasi natin na maging modelo para sa mga munisipyo, para sa mga cities na kung kaya natin sa loob ng campus bilang mga estudyante pa lang tayo, ay magagawa din natin kapag paglabas natin ng campus. Yan, ito yung goals ng Waste at Source Segregation Project. And yan, kung nagdi-discuss isa-isa, just to walk you through. Sinimulan namin siya nung pandemic. So we organize different webinars para sa different waste management, different types of waste na pwedeng gamitin. And ito yung mantra namin kapag nag-conduct kami ng seminar sa buong campus. Kapag nag-waste ka o waste at source segregation, may iwasan natin ng basura, iwas sakit, iwas gastos, iwas sakuna, kikita ka pa. Ayan. Ayan, so aside from the Waste at Source Segregation Project, we also conduct the UPLB e-waste collection drive. Ano bang kahalagahan yan? And we partnered with a student organization. Sila yung kasama namin. So if you want to also conduct e-waste collection in your campuses, pwede nyo akong sabihan. I can connect you with our sponsors. Kasi nakipag-connect lang din kami sa mga private institution para free ma-collect at ma-treat ng maayos yung mga e-waste sa campus. Etong nagkaroon kami ng e-waste collection drive last year, one day lang, sobrang dami naming na-collectang TVs, monitors, grabe. Kasi kakaroon ng pandemic, so sobrang daming naipong e-waste sa mga bahay-bahay nila. Kaya ginawa ulit namin siya this year nung February, sobrang dami pa rin. Then this coming September, magkakaroon ulit kami. Next, we have laboratory chemical waste collection, treatment, and disposal. So, isa ito sa advocacy ko talaga na maging maayos yung chemical waste treatment and disposal ng campus. Kasi 'di ba parang lahat naman tayo dumadaan sa laboratories natin, and natanong nyo ba kung saan pumunta yung waste ninyo after nyong gamitin yung particular chemical na yon? Saan napunta, saan na-treat, saan na-dispose. So ang dapat hindi lang mga industries yung regulated, kundi pati mga campuses din. And sabi ko nga, dapat maging modelo tayo pagdating sa pag-dispose, lalo na nitong mga chemical waste. Kasi ito yung mas hazardous compared dun sa domestic waste na napoproduce natin. Ayan, sa UPLB, meron din kaming Green Mobility Initiative na in-encourage. So we partnered with different student orgs ulit or mga alumni so that they can donate bike racks and promote and encourage everyone na mag-bike sa campus. And tinutulungan din namin yung mga jeepneys kung kailangan para sa mga e-jeepneys kasi nga dahil sa Modernization Act, sa Jeepney Modernization Act. So tinutulungan natin sila para makapagbuo ng kooperatiba para sa sa e-jeep. Yun, so kung mapapansin nyo, more on coordination talaga kami sa campus related sa mga ganitong projects kasi sa government, alam nyo naman, medyo limited kami sa resources. Pero limited man sa resources, pero ayaw naming maging rason yun para huwag nang kumilos. So yung coordination, yung pakikipag-usap sa iba't ibang allied agencies, pakikipag-usap sa mga alumni, kung pwede nilang ma-donate to, magbigay ng budget. So, ayun. Kasi bilang isang universidad, ang pinaka-main focus talaga syempre ay para sa education. Pero yung budget napupunta talaga sa education. So kami, ginagawa namin ng paraan para yung mga environmental programs at ibang community projects ay matupad pa rin. Ayan, we also conduct campus safe driving program para sa campus kasi related pa rin dun sa Green Mobility Initiative. Ayan, meron din kaming programs on risk, emergency, and disaster ready programs or the UPLB Ready program. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, sa community affairs, hindi lang talaga environment, pero pati health and safety. Ayan. And then nung COVID, we have the UPLB Shield program. And part din ng community affairs, and syempre ang gender inclusivity and celebration ng different expressions ng gender. So, hindi lang ako PCO, pero yan yung mga ginagawa namin. Tumutulong kami sa iba't ibang, since nasa main office ako ng community affairs, nakikipag-coordinate, nakikipagtulungan kami sa iba't ibang offices ng university para ipatupad itong mga programa. Yan, we also have, siyempre hindi lang ang part ng hindi lang tao ang part ng community, part din ng mga animals. So we also have our stray animals management program. Ang gusto namin dyan to be a responsible and passionate UPLB community. Ayan. So to sum up and to summarize, yan yung mga programs ng Office of the Vice Chancellor for Community Affairs. Hindi ko na diniscuss yung iba kasi baka magtagal ako. So, isa dun sa mga questions na binigay ninyo ay paano ba maging PCO? So, narinig niyo na kung ano yung ginagawa ko sa loob ng campus. So, paano ba maging PCO? Madali lang naman, di ba? May basic qualifications, dapat Filipino citizen, so check na kayo dyan. Full-time employee of the establishment, so dapat kapag nag-apply na kayo, full-time employee, so matchickan nyo na agad yan. So itong basic PCO training course, may mga accredited CDENR na training institutions kung saan pwede kayong kumuha ng PCO training. So kung kayo ay full-time employee at ng isang establishment at kayo ang itinilagang PCO nila, ng establishment na iyon. So sasagutin naman nila yung bayad dito sa training course. So si UPLB sinagot naman niya yung PCO training ko. And in terms of competency requirements, depende kung anong klase ng establishment. Kung kayo ay heavy releaser or heavy polluter, kayo ay pupunta sa category P. Pero kung hindi naman, kayo ay category A. So kasi kapag category B kayo, medyo mas mataas yung competency requirement. Pero kung katulad po ninyo, katulad ng audience natin ngayon ng mga environmental science graduates, so kahit saan kayo mapunta, category A or category B, okay lang. Kasi you are a professional in the field of engineering or physical and natural sciences. So yung environmental science, considered naman yan as natural sciences, provided na meron tayong at least 3 years relevant experience in environmental management. So kaya maghanap lang tayo ng different experiences. Ayan, pwede na tayong maging PCO. Ayan, what graduate courses may we take locally or abroad after earning a BS in environmental science? I would always say na punta kayo sa CESAM, so sa School of Environmental Science and Management. Kasi ibigyan kayo ng experience talaga sa pag-handle ng environmental management. And ako, I'm so blessed na dahil nagtatrabaho ako sa UPLB, free yung tawag dito, free yung MS ko sa CESAM kasi employee ako ng UPLB. And at the same time, yung tinatrabaho kong thesis ngayon, related din sa trabaho ko, and tinutulungan ako ng CESAM. Tapos, ang isa pang advantage kapag gusto nyo mag-take ng MS courses, maraming mga scholarships ang inaalok ng UPLB Graduate School para makapag-aral kayo sa CESAM. So, ayan. Mag-enroll na kayo sa CESAM kung gusto nyong ipagpatuloy yung pag-aaral ninyo. Ayan. What are some promising career opportunities and advancement in the environment considering the growing focus on sustainability and conservation? Natuwa din ako dun sa sinabi ni Sitch na hanggat may basura, may opportunity kasi ang daming problema. Ay, tama ba yung pagkakasabi ko? Pero yun, anyways, dahil nga maraming problema, maraming opportunities na mag-a-arise dyan. So, nilagay ko dito yung, alam nyo ba kung ano yan? Yan yung Boracay dati, after yung rehabilitation. Before yung rehabilitation. So, gusto ko kayong encourage na pumunta sa government sector and challenge the status quo, baguhin natin yung makikita nating mga mali sa government sector natin. And serve with an integrity, no? Kaya kung pupunta kayo sa government sector, ang una nyong dapat gawin ay dapat meron kayong tawag dito, dapat civil service exam passer kayo, or kung hindi man, pwede kayong kumuha ng environmental planner at an exam para makakuha kayo ng PRC. Pero yun yung first step para makapasok kayo sa government. Basta CSG exam passer. And kahit hindi muna PCO, pwede kayong mag-start as administrative staff. And kahit saan mang agency yan, sa DNR, sa DOST, sa Department of Agriculture, maraming mga departamento sa government na pwede kayong puntahan at i-apply ang mga natutunan nyo sa environmental science. Kasi kailangan yan ng mga sectors na yan. Okay? Tips. Ayan. So, matatapos na ako, don't worry. Tips, ito, general tips na lang. Lalo na kakagraduate nyo lang. Tama ba ang most audience natin ay kakagraduate lang? Pause for reflection. So, kapag ang naalala ko kasi noon nung graduate ako, parang parang na-overwhelm ako, parang ang dami kong gustong mangyari. Gusto ko na mag-board exam, gusto ko ng tawag dito, mag-aral para sa board exam, pero gusto ko din magtrabaho. Dami kong gustong gawin. Lalo na ngayon, di ba, parang bilis-bilis na mga pangyayari sa buhay. We are pressured pressure sa pamilya, pressure na magkaroon ng na sumweldo na, di ba? Pero take a pause and reflect. Ano ba yung gusto mong gawin? May it be business, may it be work from home. Basta pag-isipan mo and know your purpose. Next, enjoy the process. Ngayon, nakapag-pause ka na, kunyari meron ka ng bagong trabaho, hindi man yan pagiging PCO sa umpisa, pero enjoy mo lang yung process. As long as na may goal ka, take it one at a time. Okay? Hindi pwedeng parang hindi mo lang nakuha yung job na PCO, parang titigil ka na agad. So, mag-build ka ng experience, build your resume, and enjoy the process. Sabi nga, play has no desired end product as such. It flows along on its own, and that its secret power. When you're not working towards something, you're free to be inefficient, which means you can step back and experiment, try new things, and imagine the world differently than it appears to be. So, sabi to ni Michael Hyatt. Kasi madalas din ako magbasa ng libro. Hindi yung tatanong. Pero, yun, enjoy the process lang. Huwag kayong masyadong ma-pressure. Kapag pressured ka na, pwedeng mamundok ka muna, punta ka sa kagubatan, and find inspiration there. So ako, ganun lang yung ginagawa ko. Kapag medyo stress na, medyo work, stress na sa work, so yun. Yan. Next, act diligently. So nakapag-pause ka na, nakapag-enjoy ka na, syempre, hindi naman pwedeng puro enjoy lang. Kapag nasa trabaho na, work excellently, manage your time. Actually, hindi mo kailangan i-manage yung time, pero yung actions, yung attentions mo, i-manage mo ng maayos. Your mind, manage it wisely. Kasi yan yung mga simple actions mo, yun yung magde-define sa'yo. Okay, hindi pwedeng nagkamali ka lang ng konti, bibitaw ka na agad. So, act diligently pa rin. And huwag kayong, tawag dito, huwag kayong matatakot na sumubok ng mga bagong bagay. Lalo na ngayong bagong generation na to, ang daming mga opportunities na binibigay ng online. So, act diligently lang. Reach out. So, reach out kasi ang daming mga tao sa paligid na pwede kayong tulungan. So, nakakatuwa na part kayo ng PAES, ng Philippine Association of Environmental Science Students. And ako, nag-reach out lang talaga ako kay Kendrick. So, sumali ako sa org niya. Kaya ako siya nakilala at nagkaroon ako ng connection na katulad nito. Kasi parang gusto ko din ng bagong environment, gusto kong mag-reach out, gusto kong ma-spread yung advokasya na nasa puso ko or nasa isip ko, or mapalawak din yung network ko at mapalawak din yung kaalaman, kasi alam kong meron akong matututunan from them. Yeah. So reach out. And then lastly, love yourself. Diba talagang nasa dulo yung love yourself. Sabi nila, you cannot give what you don't have. So, first, love yourself. Kasi kapag puno ka na ng pagmamahal, saka mo palang maibibigay yung pagmamahal sa ibang tao at sa environment. Okay ba yun? So, kung babalikan natin, pause for reflection, enjoy the process, act diligently, reach out, love yourself. Yung mga first letter niyan, pearl daw yan. At alam niyo ba kung paano nabubuo yung pearl? So to end this talk, nabubuo ang pearl kasi may foreign matter na introduce sa kanya. Tapos yung foreign matter na yon, ang ginagawa ng shell ay ine-envelope niya yon ng liquid or ng basta ine-envelope niya yung foreign matter na yon. Very sabihin nating masakit para sa kanya kasi itchy. So, puprotektahan niya yung sarili. And whatever comes along your way as you progress in your career, may madadapa, may masasaktan, merong mga foreign matters na pwedeng maka-apekto sa inyo. Ang tanging tatandaan nyo lang is make a pearl out of it. So, thank you po. At sana meron kayong napulot for today's talk. Thank you, Pearls.
Maraming salamat, Paolo.
Mm.
So, I'll just share my screen again for a while. Ay, ito, wait lang. Siege, I'll ask your camera na lang ulit to make on. Pero, naano ako dun sa sobrang emotional ko dun sa last slides ni, ni Paolo. Parang, natamaan ako ng slide.
May
Pero,
pag-atake.
just to share, kasi di ba we have, may sarili kaming org chart sa PAES, and Pearl kasi ito, Pearlas, kasi di ba si Pearl of the Orient Sea yung
Yeah.
Philippines. So technically yung isa sa logo namin na ginagawa. Pero baka naman kay Vice Chancellor Robbie tsaka Chancey Dong, pa-hire naman Pero super ganda naman natin. Yung first time ko marinig yung goal ng community affairs, ang ganda ng community pala talaga as a whole yung ginagawa ng UPLB. And even though NVICE ka, marami kang dinadaanan sa part na yun. And then second one, yung duties. Kasi for us, syempre nag-aaral tayo, nagko-courseworks tayo, nagpapasa tayo ng exam. Pero akala natin yun yung end. Pero yung binulat mo yung duties na kailangan gawin ng bawat students after they graduate, makikita mo na hindi lang sa pagre-review natatapos yung buhay estudyante. You have to expound yung experiences mo. And then lastly, pag nagkaroon po ng influx, yung registration ng PCO, kasalanan po nating lahat. So marami mag-e-enroll. Pero kulang pa pala ako technically. So kailangan ko pa ng 2 years NVI management work para makapag-PC po. So ayun. So thank you for highlighting na hindi lang NVI yung focus pag gumraduate ka ng NVI side. Meron pa siyang isang malaking program. Okay, so mag-proceed lang tayo sa ating question and answer. So time check, it's 4:42. Ang sabi naman natin hanggang 5 p.m. tayo. Pero I'll try to check yung questions na hindi nyo nasagot kasi parang nasagot nyo na lahat. So habang nag-aantay tayo, yung mga participants natin sa FB Live, pwede po kayong magtanong dito sa ating Facebook Live. So use this opportunity. Sobrang gagaling po ng ating speakers. Nagkataon lang po na puro UP kami pero hindi po yung sinasadya. Syempre friends of friends. So yun yung makukuha natin. So pwede po kayong magtanong, especially yung mga nasa Facebook Live natin. And siguro i-shoutout na lang po muna natin habang nagpre-prepare sila. So may 5 university. May isang hinatak dahil kay Siege Phil ko. Yung Aklan State University, President Ramon Magsaysay State, Southern Luzon State University, tapos TUP Manila. Itong isa, dahil engineers ata kayong dalawa, kaya sila pumunta. Meron tayong participants from Mapua University, Manila ata to, sa Manila. Okay? So again, may mga participants natin, pwede po kayong magtanong sa ating Facebook Live. Sayang yung chance, kaya sulitin niyo na to. Pero siguro ako, parang ang laki agad pala nung tanong ko. Okay lang bang difficult round na?
Okay, lalaban na natin yan.
I'll take that as a yes. So, kasi parehas kayong merong graduate studies. So right now, if babalik kayo dun sa fresh grad self nyo, itutuloy nyo ba yung graduate studies right after graduation or mag-iipon muna kayo ng experience? And yung answer nyo sana, it's either from the business sector and then from the academic sector or government. So who wants to answer first? Go, Siege.
Yan, sige ako muna. Siguro more than the business sector or whichever sector we're talking about, it's really more of, I would ask myself first, is this the career that I want to pursue? No? Oftentimes kasi when we take the graduate studies, no, when you're after your undergraduate course, I would suggest first na, of course, maliban sa mag-ipon, to try out different things before you put yourself into another set of aaralin, no? And I wouldn't sugarcoat it. It's easier to transition from undergraduate tapos dumiretso kayo sa graduate studies because nasa zone pa kayo ng pag-aaral. No? It's very difficult to work and then suddenly go back to doing studies. But I guess the beauty of checking out or doing the temperature check, it be in government or in private, would be that somehow you would know what your skill sets are na talagang nagagamit ninyo for work. And then you build around what you're already good at and what makes your eyes sparkle. So it's not just not because you started as an engineer. Nagkataon lang sa akin civil engineer tas environmental engineer, no. So eng na ako. engineer. But you can actually go to different fields as well, and it's not something that should stop you na dahil nasa engineering na ako, I should go another engineering course for my graduate studies. Not really. No, it boils down to I would suggest that you take some time to actually explore different industries, different skill sets you can earn from doing work. And hopefully, the knowledge or the education that you will be getting is really, kumbaga, it's a stepping stone for you to be of service, mas matinding, mas mabigat or mas magandang serbisyo mabibigay mo to the industry that you will be participating in.
Okay, thank you so much, Shid, sa ating parang temperature check. So yun ata yung nagiging ngayon, yung problem. Hindi man problem, opportunity kasi ang daming scholarship eh. So sige, tara MS agad. So importante yung temperature check. Okay, Paolo, ikaw?
I agree with Sige, pero kung akong tatanungin nung bagong graduate pa lang ako, kasi sabi ko noon, ayoko nang mag-aral talaga. Pagod ako sa ChemEng. So, naghanap talaga ako, katulad ng sinabi niya, ano ba talaga yung gusto mo? So, kung gusto mo magtrabaho agad, support lang tayo dyan. So, maraming opportunities. Kung kulang ng opportunities, then find or make one for you. And dami ng opportunities online ngayon, so hindi tayo mawawalan ng oportunidad. So, kung gusto mo naman mag-aral agad, siguro ikaw yung tipo ng tao na about research, about papunta ka talaga doon sa or sa sa academic environment. So go for it. Basta alam mo lang kung ano yung purpose mo, yung why mo, bakit mo ginagawa yun, may particular goal ka sa buhay para hindi ka malulos. So ayun.
Okay, thank you, Paolo. So i-plug na rin natin yung MSNY sa UPLB Sesam. Nakita niyo naman kung gaano kaganda yung campus namin. Isang ganda rin ng building namin. So, ituloy niyo yan. So, pag stress kayo, akit lang kayo sa Makiling, tapos baba ulit kayo, tapos ACADS na ulit. Okay? So, sa participants natin, we can entertain 2 or 3 more questions. So, type nyo lang po dun sa ating chat box. So, ako right now, ang isa pang question dun sa ating, from the participants is that, kasi di ba, I'm not sure if pag nag-search kayo sa JobStreet or sa Indeed or sa kung saan mang platform, hindi naman sinasabi, ang hinahanap sustainability officer. So how close or is it capacitated na ba yung mga NVISI students natin to work as sustainability officers?
Sige, siguro ako yung maunang sumagot. No? Kung capacitated na ba, ang masasabi ko lang sa inyo at walang kaabog-abog kahit naka-FB live tayo, no? When you enter into a job, no, there is no such thing as 100% fit for that job, no? But you can always learn and you can always be honest in saying what you know and what you don't know. So for example, the job calls for you knowing this. Maybe you have different stages of mga learnings already. And hopefully during your internship or some of the even hindi related sa NVISI yung ginawa ninyo, I will assure you that it will form part of what you can put forward or what you can actually put to the table whenever you do your work. So if they are fit, then I don't think anybody from the environmental tawag dito na courses will be less fit than anybody else when it comes to sustainability. I just want to put I just want you to take this with a grain of salt that sustainability, though we are in the environmental side, it's not just sustainability on the environment. So we have to integrate everything else, all the experiences that you have on the social part, on the governance part. So kumbaga, when you go to sustainability, even other careers, even other courses can actually participate in sustainability because it's a big umbrella. But what you have here, what the edge that you have is that when you talk about the environment, you cannot do away with social and governance. No? So you can always have that, kumbaga, you have that first step or that niche na kapag environment ang pinag-uusapan, you already know um, a whole gamut of things. No? When you talk about sustainability. And that in itself, I think you will be, kumbaga, one of the better fits, no? Pagdating dun sa mga sustainability jobs na nakikita niya. And just go for it and then learn along the way.
Okay, thank you so much, Siege. How about you, Paolo? Since hindi naman PCO talaga yung parang pinag-startan mo.
Ayan, actually, isi-share ko nga yung pinag-start ko. Before I became a PCO, ako ay nagtatrabaho sa isang nagtatrabaho sa manufacturing industry. I am a, sabihin na nating supervisor ng isa sa supervisor ng isang planta. And tinanong din ako noon kung may experience ba ako sa pagiging PCO. Sabi ko noon, wala po talaga as a PCO, pero I know how to manage compliance. I know how to manage the environment kasi as a supervisor, yun naman talaga yung ginagawa namin. Ang PCO, chine-check na lang kami kung nagko-comply ba kami dun sa mga pinapatupad niya. So, katulad sa sinabi ni Siege, lahat naman natututunan. So, as long as you are willing to learn and you are willing to to learn. I think kayang-kaya mo naman na mag-apply basta gusto ng puso mo yung ina-applyan.
Okay, thank you, Paolo. Siege, okay ka pa? Do you want to add or G?
I'm good,
Okay,
I'm good.
so I think ang lang, wag matakot mag-try nung hindi niyo pa alam and be honest technically. And pinaka-importante ata, aside from yung technical knowledge, yung attitude na willingness to learn and that setup na napunta ka. Pero Siege, before I ask yung question, may organization ka ba before? Student org?
Student org ko is sa Civil Eng na side, no? It's
Okay,
UP
okay. So pero
Aggregates Incorporated.
siguro kasi meron din tayong i-plug na natin pero ipa-plug ko ulit like mamaya konti. Kasi may i-host na freshman night yung TAES on September 2. Pero right now, sa mga freshman na nanonood, kasi si Paolo may org, ako may org. Ano yung sa tingin yung additional value for students na nag-org tapos bilang sumali sa workforce?
Paanong workforce?
Sige. Yan, ikaw muna pa.
Paanong workforce pala, sorry?
Pag nag-work na, ba't mas magandang sumali ka sa org bago ka kaysa mag-student, focus student lang? Parang ganon.
Lahat naman ng experience natin sa university ay makakatulong pero ang laking bagay nung sumali ka sa isang student org pagdating mo sa kumpanya kasi lalo na kung meron kang leadership responsibilities sa isang student org, malaking bagay yon kasi kulang talaga ng leaders paglabas mo ng university. So kapag meron kang traits ng isang pagiging leader, I think malaking bagay yun sa mga employers. Kasi syempre, dapat makikita nila yung leadership potential sa'yo.
Okay, thank you, Paolo. Siege?
Sige. Yung sa akin naman is usually when you join yung organization, you learn how to mingle with different people. No? Though syempre, kapag may organization ka, sabi nga nila, birds of the same feather are of the same birds. Diba? Ang mangyayari usually doon is that you will know how to interact with different sets of people. You will know how to balance your priorities and kumbaga, you will be learning different experiences kasi, di ba? These people will be at one point your support system, and when you work, you will need that. You will need to know kumbaga, you will need to become a team player, no? Pwede rin namang individual contributor ka, but more importantly, you will learn kasi you will host events, and sabi nga ni Pao kanina, like the leadership and all. So, kumbaga, it's like a mini test ground for you to check also even the 5 people nga daw, no, you're the average you spend most of your time. So if you spend your time with your organization and assuming that you spend your time there because you have the same values, then definitely I think the organization will propel you to greater heights. So that's very important pagdating sa budding careers ninyo. And that the preparation also
Hello. Ay, nag-hang ba ako? Hello.
Mukhang si Siege yung naghang.
Okay, okay, sige. Okay, sige. Just the time check, it's 4:56 already. We mentioned na 5 o'clock tayo matatapos. So thank you, Siege and Paolo, for answering yung questions natin and giving super gandang insights. May isa na nag-thank you, hindi pa tayo tapos sa program. Sabi ni Miss Rosie, Hail Takiro, thank you so much po sa inyo. Madami po ako natutunan. Kahit ako working na tapos may org. Ang dami ko po palang kailangan matutunan. Pero let's just proceed with the presentations. So again, maraming salamat. So wait lang. Ay, sorry. Wait, full screen. No. Okay. So ayan. So tapos na po tayo sa question and answer. So let's just proceed with the program. So andun na po tayo sa part ng patapos na po ang ating programa. And i-present lang po natin ang Certificate of Appreciation. So this Certificate of Appreciation is given to Engineer Siege Luzon, MSc, in recognition of her valuable contribution as resource speaker in Punla, Career Talk, and environmental sectors. Given this 12th day of August 2023 via Zoom, courtesy of the UPLB School of Environmental Science and Management. Signed by Kenjek Fernilo, President and Founder of PAES. And the same certificate would be given to Engineer Christian Paulo Altaveros in recognition for his valuable contribution as resource speaker in Punla, Career Talk, and environmental sectors. Maraming salamat, Siege and Paulo.
Thank you also, team.
Okay, so for some announcements, ito lang po yung dalawa lang may announcement namin. So sa mga universities po na nanonood at hindi pa member ng PAES, if you are environmental blank, either science, management, engineering, biology, or planning, pwede po kayong sumali sa PAES. Just message us at PAES@national, PAES National for our Facebook page. And for email, it will be membership.paes@gmail.com. And meron pa pong susunod activities. So as mentioned kanina, in September 2, we will be having a virtual freshman night. Syempre po, virtual lang to kasi we have different universities from different provinces. So magkikita-kita tayo virtually. And then yung susunod na webinar natin would be on October 21. So ito po yung environmental research naman. So for September, we won't be having webinar to give way for the regional meetings of the different local orgs. And ito po yung PubBat namin. So you can sit with us, yung mga freshie natin. So pwede pa kayong mag-log in. So may registration po kami sa aming Facebook page. And this is the first time that we'll be holding yung freshman night. Kasi di ba, nung pandemic, hindi naman tayo nag-freshman night dahil remote lahat. So ito na po yung start ng ating freshman night na annual. And just to share kung ano ba yung makukuha nyo or mamimit nyo na ibang tao sa pag sumali po kayo ng PAES. We have 36 member organizations from different universities. Meron kayong Bisaya, meron kayong Iloilo, meron tayong Ilocano. We have super deep Tagalog from Southern Luzon and Bicolano as well. And last reminder na po, yung webinar e-certificates natin. So my colleague would be sending the GForms link on the comment section of the Facebook Live. So abangan nyo lang po doon. Lalabas siya maya-mayang konti. So nagsulat na po ng ang attendance ng name and university, and evaluation form po will be sent in the comment section, and it will be closed tomorrow 8 p.m. para po magkaroon pa kayo ng extra time to prepare. Or so mga magre-rewatch po tomorrow, pwede nyo pa rin po makakuha ng e-certificate. And if you're not following our socials pa, you can go to our IG and to our YouTube, Advice Students PH. And this August po, sineselebrate natin ang International Youth Day. and Buwan ng Wikang Pambansa. So this is also related dun sa NVSI kasi may social component ng environmental science, and we have many indigenous people in the Philippines. And of course, kabataan is like the generation na magmamana ng ating world. And then ito na po, super last slide na talaga. So ito po laging sinasabi natin. So it's a quote from a movie. So please listen to qualified scientists and engineers kasi alam po namin yung ginagawa namin, and we will share our knowledge to you para lahat tayo ay makaangat sa ating mga social classes or sa poverty classes natin. So again, maraming salamat po sa pag-attend. So we'll be ending now the Facebook Live. For the people in Zoom, stay lang po tayo saglit for a photo opportunity. Maraming salamat po sa mga nasa Facebook Live. Ay, may humabol, Bicol University. Okay, so stop lang po ako and closing Facebook Live. So salamat po sa mga nasa Facebook Live. Bye!